Woo! Good morning. Sorry for the long intro. Diva said, can't wait for this trial. Neither can I. There's two different trials because there is going to be one in May for the essay, rape, pictures, and then separately will be the murder of Madeline Soto. Good morning, Jerry. Good morning, True Crime Beat. And I'm really waiting as patiently as I can for something to happen to Jen Soto. I do not want her to get hit by a bus. I'm not saying I want her to fall into a manhole and be covered in poo-poo. I want her to be held accountable for what went on in her home. Okay? The unnamed True Crime channel said that was 74 years. That intro was 74 years. It did. It ran on 2 minutes. It did. For real. It did. Well, that's what happens when it takes me a minute to try to find the half and half and go pee-pee and look at my face and make sure there's nothing weird growing out of it since I'm turning 50 in a couple of months. That's how it goes. Well, let's take a second and tell everybody good morning. It is Friday, TGIF. You guys are the best. Well, I have finally got some good news from the state of Oklahoma. Woo, woo, woo. It's finally raining. Barb Murray, you old stranger. I think you are our third member here, Barb. Member for 30 months, not minutes. The first member is Pat K. I know. I think you're number 2. And Kat is number 3. I'd have to look again. Let's see. ASB 412 said, newbie, I'll be 60 in a few months. Can we please welcome our new friends? I'm seeing names every day we don't recognize. Look at that. Cat OG said, old me. Nufflin said, family by choice. Well, a lot going on. A lot going on. Look at that. There's Pat K. Hey, look at that. Member for 39 months. You know, you would have to be on a mission from God to be a member of this channel for that long. She's been here for so long. When I change the badges, she already knows what she's going to get. She knows it's going to be some picture of my cat OJ. It's either going to be Christmas time OJ, St. Patrick's Day OJ, OJ in Easter Bunny ears, OJ looking like Uncle Sam. I'm telling you. Love you, Pat. Love you. And look at that. Rexy said, hey, I've got 31 months. Rexy ain't no slouch. No. V. Oakley said, you're pimping OJ. Exactly. And there's OJ laying back there going, pimping ain't easy. Speaking of, if anybody wants a Tragedy Pimp shirt, it is low quality item made by me and OJ. If you're lucky, you might get some of his hair on it, but it is a regular price. So there you go. Tragedy Pimp, and of course it will have the CLL logo on it. A lot of stuff going on. A lot. Stephan Stern's got his ass handed to him yesterday. Big time. Oh, thank you. JR Anna Boomer said, sweetheart, if you haven't got some wild hair garden growing out of your face by now, you're doing fabulous. I'm 64. I have a mole. I have this dimple in my lip. And I've got a little, I'd say a freckle. So I will pluck that bastard, and the next morning it grows back like 3 times the length. Okay? I have told my husband before, and he does not find this sexy. I said, I'm going to put some beads on this one hair that grows out of my upper lip, and I'm just going to dangle it around all the time. When I'm talking to people, it's just going to hit my top lip. If it continues growing, maybe my bottom lip, and just, embrace it. I think it'd be pretty sexy, but thank you for the heads up. Anybody else have any weird hair growing anywhere? Anybody? It happens. It happens. You never know what's going to happen. I've noticed my hair's not growing in other places. Yeah, very strange. Women, we have it a little rough. We have testosterone and estrogen. Rexy said you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't. I used to make fun of, these women when I was growing up. I'd be like, okay, when I was growing up, I thought 30 meant you were, about to sign, get a will and get ready to die. I just didn't really understand. And now here I am turning 50, and I'm like, no, hold on. What is jumping out of here? And what's worse is when you have like a little bit of acne and gray hair. Karen Hawley, we could do a whole show about this. Who makes the best tweezers? Who? Anyone know? Anybody know who's got the best tweezers? Well, we'll figure that out on another show. We can do that on just next topic or for a members live. But we're going to get to it right now because we have our amazing friend, True Crime Beat. And Rexy said, I shave mine. See, Rexy, that gives you stubble. Okay? The next thing you know, it grows back worse. Soulshine likes Revlon tweezers. Well, if I go to the dermatologist, they can zap that bitch. I just don't feel like paying for it. Or I should say it this way. I don't have a problem paying for it. But old DT Driver says he doesn't want to spend a day's pay taking out one little damn hair out of my lip. You guys are the best. Let's welcome True Crime Beat. Tell you what, one of the most amazing things about our group of friends is that you just never know what we're going to talk about. You have any weird hairs that stick out anywhere, True Crime Beat?
Yeah, I get a weird one on the side of my, like the side of, not below your bra line. It's weird. Every once in a while I look and there's a long hair, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from?
And as we all know, you're vegan. You would think being vegan, it would prevent those wild hairs.
No. Nope. And I also still have acne, so I think that's rude because I had awful acne as a teenager, and I think it's awful.
Oh yeah, that was always bad. So, I mean, you have cut out red meat, and you're still getting all these problems. Do you feel like maybe you have been kind of screwed?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, that's all right.
It's all good.
You never know. It's all right. So let's get to it. Your name was mentioned in a court document. No, it doesn't say Shannon, that's the vegan. It says Crime Beat. What did you think when they mentioned your channel that could be one of the problems?
I was like, whoa, because I knew we were all in there, that they pulled everybody's name that they were covering because she mentioned that. But I did not believe when she showed it on the screen. I was like, well, hello. It's like a shocker because you never think that they're going to put you on the screen. But hey, it did not help her at all. It didn't help Stephan's nasty, sorry ass. So thank God for that. Yep.
Well, he got his ass handed to him yesterday, and I am loving it.
Oh, it was a good day. It was a good day yesterday.
The fact that he had no issue depriving Madeline of her privacy, her dignity, her childhood, her virginity, and all things important to a young person growing up. Who in the world is he to say, but I don't want to be bothered? Don't put me on TV. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he's sure got a lot of nerve. We hear it in these whiny phone calls to mommy and daddy, too. Oh, please give me money.
What really upset me is when his mother said, I don't care what you did, but had you told us, we could have taken care of it.
Yeah, that's disturbing. Very disturbing. What the hell would she have done?
Cover it up.
Mm-hmm. That's a sickness.
All right, we're going to start with this and we're going to comment on this. Now, I don't know who this dude is. It looks like he might have some hair problems.
The man accused of raping and killing the teenage daughter.
All right, there it is. She just comes right out of the bat. And by the way, I love this dress she has on. Woo! Love it. She goes, the man accused of raping and killing Madeline Soto. They're not mincing words. So are they telling the news to stop talking, or is it only YouTube?
Everyone, I think. That's what it sounded like to me.
Of his then girlfriend was in court today. Stephan sat quietly as the public defender representing him made the case to a judge to ban the public, including the media, from attending his pre-trial court hearings in his sexual battery case. His legal team filed a similar motion last month in the separate homicide case against him. The defense argues the case had, quote, unprecedented.
Yeah, they're scrolling through. There's old Nancy Grace. Madeline Soto's mother's boyfriend. Yeah, they're scrolling through YouTube. Wow.
And highly prejudicial publicity. Stearns has pleaded not guilty to sexually battering and murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto last year.
You know, they don't mince words on this channel. They're not saying SA like we say over here. They're saying sexual battery, murder, rape. And I think where we all sit right now is we're pretty damn comfortable. I couldn't say comfortable with what he did. We're comfortable with him going away forever and a day. Are we not? Put a 1 in if you are satisfied with Stephan Stearns, Mr. Disney, being off the streets, out of society, locked away forever. Put a 2 in if you think, he may not have done all this. They both need to go away. I'm going to let True Crime Beat have it. Hello, Princess Elsa.
Yep, I really still hope that they can get her ass. I really, really do. Like we were talking about earlier today, Brooks. I'm hoping that there's something's going to happen between May and this trial and everything. I just am hoping.
I'm not looking for a murder trial. I mean, at the earliest, this is just my assumption, okay? Nothing in writing. I would think the earliest would be this time next year. I don't think we're going to do anything in the fall.
I don't think September's going to happen either. I think it's going to be next year. But I am curious if they're going to keep him in Osceola County or if they're going to move him. That I am curious about.
I'm wondering about that myself because
find that out.
Once he's convicted in May, and I believe in my heart of hearts, he will be convicted in May. Now, go ahead and put a 1 in chat if you want me to cover the case when he goes, because it will be public. They already said that.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be things we don't want to hear. There might be, depending on the editor, things we don't want to see.
Yeah. They're going to have a delay, but we don't know. I think we're going to learn more about it, like with their pretrial, how they're going to work it. So Yeah, it's going to be a rough one, though.
What did you think when his dad said to him, he said, well, you're going to have a lifetime to have hard candy in your cell. And it seems like Deborah Disney didn't really have too much to say about that. Did that just go like right over her head? It seems she is very delusional. Like she thinks he might be able to get out. And I don't blame his mother for being furious with Jen Soto. I know that's tough to hear when I say that. Because as a mother, I would be mortified that my child would even think about something like this. But then knowing that Jen Soto was aware, maybe complacent, maybe participated, that there's nothing happening to her.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think his mom is, I think he is just her baby, no matter how old he is. And I think he can do no wrong for Deborah, and I don't get it. I really, truly don't. I can understand her talking to him, you know, but the way she talks to him is just like nothing that he did no wrong. And that bothers me more than anything. It's like she didn't say, well, you've done awful things. And, you know, the only things I like that she says is that she needs him to read the Bible and look up stuff. And I'm like, oh, he does.
And I've had quite a few hateful comments saying, you know, maybe she blanked it out. Maybe she blacked it out. Maybe PTSD made it where Jen Soto, you know, like Gray Hughes, you know, he's all over her dick. He's just, she was groomed too. She was groomed too. No. She's way too old. She definitely knows better. So she can leave the house. She can go to work. She can talk with her family. She's more wise of the ways of the world than her daughter Madeline. Grooming is for someone that isn't very wise in the ways of the world. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying that's normally how it goes. And it's a federal offense. He's not charged with that. This statement that she made to investigators tells me that she did know what's going on.
Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stephan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean?
Between the Woody Allen comment and her texting Stephan, Mr. Disney, back in June of 2023 saying, I can't have Madeline in my bed with me anymore. It's too risky. It's too risky. She can't risk it. Can't risk her own freedom is how I take it. And then I think about, well, what would she be doing with her daughter in the bed? That would be too risky. Or does she mean the two of them together? Nobody has an issue with their kid crawling into bed, watching a movie, eating popcorn, and dozing off. No one.
She doesn't know what to say to Mr. J when he asks her that. She has no idea.
Is it about pictures? I mean, the night that Maddie was murdered, she said she just had to get some sleep. Now, this is after her daughter's birthday party that she did not attend. Just had to get some sleep, and she sent them to room 4. Now, why couldn't Maddie sleep by her? What would they be doing in that bed that would awaken her from her slumber when, according to her, she takes enough Seroquel to put an elephant down?
It makes no sense to me.
Unprecedented and highly prejudicial publicity. Stearns has pleaded not guilty to sexually battering and murdering 13-year-old Madeline Soto last year, and he faces the death penalty if convicted. The judge said he would make a written decision in the next 10 days.
Okay, I want to talk about this because every state is different. We know it, we breathe it, we've learned it. In Florida, for the rape, sexual battery, sexual abuse, molestation, grooming, the pictures, he damn sure can get the death penalty. Now then, they could have had one trial together, okay? A double-decker, if you will. Meaning this is going to be for all the, as Jen says, the sex stuff that she had no problem with. And we're going to talk about the big M. I think the prosecution has been super smart with this because they know they have him dead to nuts, nailed to the wall for the, as Jen Soto says, the sex stuff. He can easily get death for that. So when people say, oh, he's going to take a plea deal, he's going to take a plea deal, he's going to take a plea deal, well, he should take a plea deal. They're not offering him anything. You can't take something that's not offered to you. That'd be like me saying right now, man, I would love to have some breakfast pizza from the Come and Go. I'm not there and no one's offering it. Have you seen anything where they're offering him any kind of plea deal? Because I have looked and looked and looked.
Nope, they ain't offering him jack.
And it's up to the jury, not the judge. But I totally believe in my heart of hearts, and I've only got one, that when this goes down in May, there's no turning back. So either he gets death in May, because they can't kill him twice, or he gets death from the murder trial. I think there's enough reasonable doubt for people that don't follow cases, don't know that much about Madeline Soto, that they could easily walk into a jury box and say, maybe Jen did it.
Mm-hmm.
Because to most people on the mind, they're looking at the murder, not everything else. Or he would wind up getting like a different sentence and they can't decide on murder. I think they're being smart.
Yeah, there's enough evidence on this one. I didn't go to the court for this one. I watched it for the hearing the other day. But I know when I went for Sarah Boone, it was sort of busy. I mean, it's going to be different. This one's going to be at the Osceola County Courthouse unless they move it. So I think it's a way different feeling, though, when you watch yours in person, because when you're at home, you can kind of like make comments. You could say, well, when you're in court, you got to keep your mouth shut. You're not really supposed to have a lot of expressions on your face because if the judge sees it, they could kick you out. So it's you have to hold a lot in, I think. And I just was taking lots of notes, and I'll do the same thing in May. Lots of notes.
Okay, but you were at a hearing not too long ago.
Yeah.
For Madeline Soto. I think that's what Pat's talking about. She wants to know what was the vibe like in the court when you went.
Oh, no, I didn't go to the Madeline Soto one. The hearing from the other day, that's the one I just watched that they showed me. No, I didn't go to the Madeline Soto one.
Oh, you haven't been to any Madeline Soto hearings?
No, because this was the first one that I might go on the 23rd to the pretrial.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't gone yet, Pat. But I might go to the pretrial because it's right before my birthday. So I might actually decide to take that day off and go down there. So I am curious what the vibe's going to be down there for that, because that will be a big one. But it's different. I think that it's going to be pretty similar to the Orange County. I think that because it's the same district. So, but I will definitely let you guys know how it feels, because it was quite different being in person to something you've been following when I went to the one, for Boone, sorry. But so I think this is going to be harder because of it's a child. It's going to be hard.
Mhm. Yeah, people weren't really lining the streets to get. Sarah Boone isn't exactly the Karen Reed of Florida. Okay.
Nope.
I think they were pretty much already done with it. All right, let's get to the judge's decision.
To either grant or deny the motion. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest has been following this case from the beginning and has put together a multi-part series on this entire case. You can watch every episode on News 6 YouTube's page.
They've done great work. So cameras will be allowed, and as they should, because one, we have open court here.
Mm-hmm.
We do. There's no closed settings. We have a right to know. I mean, if they're having trial right now over in Tulsa County, I can just get in the truck and I can go over there and sit down and just see what's going on. There should not be a secret. It's just insane that anyone would think that it should be okay for him to have his privacy when Madeline was robbed of everything, her life, and then some. I just thought that was a crazy motion for the defense to even make, but they do it in every case. Have we noticed that, Shan?
Yeah, I think that she's trying to do everything, and like we've said before, I can't imagine how she's defending him, but she's doing her job. And just like the judges have to make sure they do their job in the state, they have to do what they're supposed to do, and they have to file all these motions and see if something sticks. So that way their client can't say later on, "Oh, you didn't properly defend me. I need a new trial."
Mm-hmm. And there are no victims' rights. Victims' rights, especially for a child, the victims' rights are up to the family. Children cannot defend themselves. Victims' rights for someone that's an adult, they still do not have their dignity. Everything is picked through. Everybody wants to know everything. That's why I get so irritated in some of these conversations when people say, well, that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it. And I just say, wait till trial, because they bring everything up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put my 2 cents of speculation in, because I think this is the reason. I'm going to go back to what Jen Soto said about it being too risky for Madeline to be in bed with her.
Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stephan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm. She said, I have no idea. This is why I think it's too risky.
I've always told him that my biggest fear is that this would turn into a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter or the dad grooms the child and the child turns 18 and ends up running away with him. I told him that was my biggest fear, and I don't ever want that happening. You can't do that to me.
Why would you say that to him?
Because I never trusted. I grew up being told never trust a man. My mom put that in my body. Never trust a man.
My mom put that in my body. Too risky. She did not want him to leave her for her daughter.
Yep.
He mentioned it to his parents. She knew Madeline had a crush on me. She always thought that Madeline would fall in love with me over her. She knew exactly what was going on. Sad fact of the matter is the detectives and the DA cannot get into her mind as to what she was thinking. But she sent her out of the room the night of her murder to be violated, photographed, and murdered. Now, before I get to the phone call, some people say they still think that Jen Soto might be the murderer, and I get them having two separate trials. Let's go back in time a little bit. This is about 8 months ago. This is an email that Stephan Stearns, Mr. Disney, sent.
They shed more light on Stephan Stearns, the man accused of sexual battery on a child and for the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto.
Those documents include several back and forth conversations between Stearns and presumably his family. Well, she's Luana Munoz is live in studio tonight. And Luana, you've been pouring through these conversations. What exactly do they entail?
You know, Summer, Stephan Stearns goes back and forth again with his mother and who we believe might be his father, Chris Stearns. Stephan Stearns seems to believe that there's still some hope for his case, while his mother makes reference to others possibly being involved. One day after Stephan Stearns' trial was delayed, the state attorney's office released this 64-page document of email correspondence between Stearns and who appears to be his parents. The conversation starts off with Stearns complaining about life in isolation, saying, quote, "It's not exactly the Ritz, it's a small cell and the pot is quite noisy. The mat is flat and has very little cushion left. The cell is small, filthy, and has some spots on the wall that appear to be bloody fingerprints."
Can we all get a boo-hoo? Can we get a boo-hoo?
Let's cry him a river.
A broken down mattress, filthy walls. I'm sorry housekeeping wasn't there for him that day. That is horrible. So sorry. Too bad, so sad. If Deborah had it her way, if Deborah Stearns had it her way, she would have a queen-size bed in there, a hot tub, and a bidet, and his own coffee pot, and just say, let him sit there. That's how messed up she is.
He later complains of his coffee supply running low and continues to ask for a book. It's an odd conversation for the 38-year-old accused of 60 counts of sexual battery of a child and for the murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Detectives say Stearns is seen on surveillance video driving around with Soto's dead body in his car before allegedly dumping her in a rural field in February. In an email dated June 25th, Stearns tells his family, quote, "There's still perhaps a slim hope for my situation." He goes on to say, "I maintain hope that I might be able to come home once this whole nasty business has reached its end, and ask that you both remain hopeful as well and continue to pray for me to be delivered home again." A redacted email is then sent back to Stearns, signed Mom, that alludes to some accusations. She says, "We all know Redacted was heavily involved in this, and I'm disgusted that she's free and you're not, when this is not all your fault. You need to think about yourself more and her less. She sure isn't thinking about you and how she can help you right now."
Well, what the hell do they know? We all know Jen was heavily involved in this, and I'm disgusted she is free and you are not, when this is not all your fault. You need to think about yourself more and her less. It is his fault, and it's safe to say it's also Jen Soto's fault. What do you think, True Crime Beat?
I think that she's probably just as guilty as he is. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard that she is not behind bars right now. And I believe that those detectives that interrogated her believe the same thing. But we don't know what they're waiting for. We don't know what they're holding on to. But all I can say is I hope every day that something happens where she gets charged. And like I said, misdemeanors are nothing. That doesn't mean, they want to get her on something big.
Yeah, misdemeanors aren't anything. I mean, they're just a blip. That's it. It's like, look, that's your warning. Don't do it again type of thing. Jen is not unfamiliar with the pogo stick, okay? From the time she had Madeline to Madeline's death, she has dated around quite a bit, okay? She's had quite a few tap-to-tays in the bedroom, hotel rooms. She's laid in a few laps, if you know what I mean. Why did she not worry about any of those men becoming a Woody Allen situation? Only Stephan Stearns. I'll let you have it, True Crumby.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what happened in that house, or we know it's not really a house, townhome. Something happened there. And I think Jen has a lot to do with it. I do.
Just says a lot to me. All of these people have been interviewed. They have gone through her entire past, his entire past. Don't think they've only talked to the two of them. She wasn't worried about the Woody Allen situation with anybody else, only with him. And she's the one that said it's too risky to have Madeline in my bed. Well, the reason it's too risky is because Stephan was also coming in and out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, she was basically the landlord there. Her dad wasn't there all the time. So she knew about the camera equipment in that funky looking twin size bed up in room 4. I mean, they could get her on a lot of things, but they're all going to be misdemeanors. Every damn one of them.
Yep.
They already have extremely... It blew my mind when I found out that they were splitting the trials. 1 for the sexual battery and then 2 for the murder. Because 1 trial is millions of dollars. 2, double millions. Did you think it was risky them having 2 trials, or did you think it was kind of crazy?
It was, at first it was shocking, and then I think it was very smart. I think it's real smart that they were doing it that way. Because I'm hoping that, like we said, something's going to come out between the A and B trials. So, and but yeah, it's the money, but I personally don't care about that. This is where money is well used. But as far as separating it, I think this was very, very smart on behalf of the district attorney's office.
Oh, I'm not talking about, it's not like it's your money or my money. But when the DA has to go to other people and they say we lost a trial and we spent, $7 million, they're not going to be happy. So money flushed down the toilet is money flushed down the toilet. I think they're doing it smart because you can't retry them.
Yeah.
Yes, she sure isn't thinking about you and how she can help you right now. That whole family is willing to stay quiet and let you take the fall for everything. She goes on to say, quote, I think of the craziness Redacted lived through with Redacted's various partners, not a stable life for a child at all. I do pray for Redacted and you daily.
Well, Stearns' trial was expected to start next week, but just yesterday.
Okay, that's an old one. All right. So that was 8 months ago. Candace Prim said it's very strategic on the state part.
Yeah.
State's part.
Well, I don't think they're not going to lose the first trial. I mean, there's just too much evidence. So, but it's a very, very smart move for sure. And that's, for my opinion, but I'm hoping there's more up their sleeve. That's all I can say.
There always is. There always is. We get to trials every time and we go, whoa. That's why I get a little irritated, with people and they're like, well, why don't they do this? Why don't they do this? Why don't they do this? And I'm like, shut the front door, Matlock. What do you mean? Because if you follow a case to the end, you see that they had shit compiled up to the ceiling and they were just waiting.
Oh, yeah. I would love to see what they've got sitting behind those closed doors. I would love to know.
Pat K said, I want someone to ask JS, who was Jen Soto, what she thought the camera equipment was for. Wouldn't that be interesting to know? Exactly, Jen Soto. What did you think all that was for? Did you think, what did you think that he was filming himself in that twin bed with the pee and blood stains on it? I want to know more about that. I have a feeling Stephan doesn't have a period.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question, Pat. Very, very good question.
And you have Jen Soto complaining to her friends. Some actually lived there that said, you know, he only wants it up the buns. He liked the bun sex. And so why would you get a pregnancy test for that? And all hell broke loose when Madeline missed a period.
Yeah. A lot's going to come out. A lot.
And Homeland Security doesn't have to be in the court paperwork that comes out in trial. I do want to know if they're involved in this, because there are, Chris Stearns brought it up to his son about the deep, dark web. And he said it was said on another YouTube channel, I don't know who it was, that there could be some issues there. Well, that's what gets a lot of people. That takes a long time to find.
Yeah.
Soto seemed to be kind of scratching her head like, I don't know where he's getting all this money. I don't know where he's getting all this money. His dad didn't know where he's getting all this money. Some of those little figurines that piece of shit would sit around and paint were like $200-300 for him to put together his little set he was making.
Jen knew it all. I believe she really did.
And the only deal Stephan could get would be life, no parole, and that would be it. They would take the death penalty off the table, but he better have something of substance they can put Jen Soto away for. Let's get to the phone calls. This is from our friend True Crime Beat, and she is on panel right now.
So I'm just thinking it's Maddie. And you guys let me know what you think of that. And Mom tells him to make his heart right with God. So, yeah. But a lot of the same same old stuff that they've been chatting about. But as always, there's interesting little portions in there. But without further ado, let's jump into these last calls.
Stearns, an inmate at Osceola County Corrections Department. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, press or say 9. 5.
Is that all their damn poodles around there?
Away with the poodles.
That voice of his, he sounds just like his mother, just a little, more baritone, And when I heard him on I think the first phone calls where he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss the puppies and the puppy breath. And I'm like, oh, wow. Wow. Fun to ski said, I believe that Santa Claus was part of that ring. Remember, son did himself in. I am not giving up on that one.
Me neither.
Have you gone through the connections? I'm sure you have, or we've talked about it.
Yeah, it's hard because there's not a lot out about that one. Remember, he got charged, and he didn't even get. I'm blanking on how many years, but it's not even a large amount. I'd have to relook it up. They didn't give him. They charged him on like a handful of charges, Santa, and I was like sick. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So and that one, since it's federal. It took a while for more to come out. So that one's harder to get info on. And I've been looking.
Well, the thing is with James Cox, or as I call him, Santa, laws do need to change federally with that, because you can't do anything locally or statewide because pictures come from all over the world. And possession is going to get you about 10 to 15 years. And what I read is that's what he's looking at.
Yeah. He'll probably die in prison anyway.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from... This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
I got it. Hey, Stephan. Hey. You called and the phone just flashed a call coming in and then it just hung up.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah, I figured I'd try Mom after I tried you 3 times, so.
Yeah.
Oh, how you guys doing?
Where are you? What are you up to?
Not much. I got a late start at calling you this evening, so I'm probably only going to get the 1 call.
Oh, where have you been all week?
Well, I mean, I've been here, you know, so.
I know that, but all week you couldn't get access to the phone?
I've been mostly sleeping the days and nights away. I've been feeling so tired lately.
Okay.
What's that?
I've just been sleeping the days and nights away. I thought he said it was too noisy in his pod. Who the hell can sleep that much?
He and Jen.
Yeah. But guilty people, it's such a crazy thing. They can go to sleep real easily because their conscience is clear.
Yeah, he fell asleep waiting for them to interrogate him.
I said, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. How are you guys holding up?
Oh, good. Same old, same old.
Well, no, we're balls to the wall getting ready because she's having 8 puppies.
Oh, wow, okay. Wow, that is,
If we write you a note, can you come over and help?
What's that?
If we write you a note, can you come over and help?
Oh, that'd be great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little while back, some of the nurses or officers were talking to each other like, let's just take the day off today. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. You know what, guys? Let's all just take the day off today and come back tomorrow.
That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They save so much money if they just put everybody on ankle bracelets and let them go home.
Well, that would be counterproductive because they want people to suffer.
So you're going to suffer enough once you go to prison, but if you're just in jail waiting trial, I don't know why you can't be on an ankle bracelet and come home.
Because suffer.
Suffer. Okay.
Yeah,
we suffer too. We suffer right along with you.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you say there? She's like, why can't they just write you a note and put an ankle bracelet on and you can come home?
Yeah, she wants him to come home. And why can't they just keep you on like house arrest? And I'm like, because he sexually assaulted a minor and allegedly killed her.
Mm-hmm.
Can he give you a note to come home? I'm like, can we bring back Maddie? Dumbass.
Can't bring back Maddie. And also, there could be camera equipment in the real world and other children. And I have a feeling anywhere he goes, his penis goes with him.
Yeah.
It's a very, very violent crime.
Yeah. If I went home, that'd be, too tempting for me to do something and not go to trial, probably. So they want to make sure that they have their eyes on me at all times.
Well, then why is it in a bracelet?
But, it's fine. I wouldn't waste too much energy having any sort of grudge or hurt feelings against her. She's suffering, too, in her own way, so.
Not as much as you are, sweetheart.
Well, she lost her daughter.
All right, this is disturbing as hell. I'm going to go back to it in a second. He's like, I wouldn't waste too much energy on that. So either he knows he's done all and he wants her left alone because of his own guilt, I mean, think about what he's saying right here. Well, she's lost her daughter. If he knew that Jen killed her daughter, then wouldn't he want to be out there? Be out of there?
Yeah. This part does get you to questions.
Yeah.
Her whole world was turned upside down too.
And you are, a wonderful person that she loved too.
Yeah, yeah. But everyone's world got turned upside down by this. No one is having a good time here. Just remember that,
Has she tried to call you, or have you called her?
No. In fact, I'm under a strict no contact order during at least the trial. I'm not legally not supposed to contact her at all.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much standard operating procedure.
Okay.
And I'm almost kind of glad you guys.
Actually, it's not. It's not standard operating procedure because everything in the jail is recorded. Why are they telling him not to talk to her and her not to talk to him unless they're afraid that they're going to somehow conspire?
Yeah, I think it's his attorneys telling him that.
He didn't say that, though.
Yeah, he did.
I think it's standard operating procedure, but we're under a strict no contact. So I would like to know where that came from, because every hearing I have heard, it's never been like you are not to contact Jen Soto.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone in his greasy pod is smart enough to know if he talks to her, it's all recorded.
Aren't able to visit me or haven't come to visit me, because I feel like if you were to see my face, you guys would be a lot more concerned.
Why? Did somebody beat you up?
No, it's hard to get beat up in isolation, but I am very thin and my eyes are sunken in and I've got dark circles under my eyes and I look like hell.
I'm sorry, honey. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's just very drawn and sort of emaciated look. And even the social workers said, they came and visited me on Monday, and they said it looks like I'd lost more weight. So I have no idea how much I weigh now, but I can see myself getting thinner.
How the fun's holding up?
Well, I saw that you put $30 in there the last Friday that we talked. I hadn't made any orders since then, though. So I just got the box today and saw that. So as of today, there was $16 left. But I did need to make an order. So actually, if you get a chance, I need to drop about $50 or so in there if you can.
All right.
I ordered a buttload more coffee, a few more hard candies, some squeeze of saltines.
So I need 50 more bucks because I need a buttload of coffee. Okay, he's drinking a buttload of coffee. All right. So, but he's sleeping throughout the day and night. He wants hard candies and some squeeze of saltines. What the hell is a squeeze of saltine? Do you know?
No, I mean, unless he's talking about like packs of crackers. I don't really have any idea.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. What does Madeline have?
Nothing.
Okay. Let's just say that Jen Soto had no idea anything was going on, and she is as innocent as the new fallen snow. What does she have? Because right now we know she cannot be seen in public. We know that nobody's going to hire her ass. It's a wonder that she didn't move out of state. Now, I do believe she will definitely be a huge witness for the state.
Yeah. I would like to be there when she's there, though. It's going to be very interesting when she gets up there.
It's basically just a sleeve of saltines. The closed captions are wrong. Sorry.
Yeah.
He just wants a sleeve of crackers. Okay, so crackers, hard candies, and a buttload of coffee. A boatload of coffee.
But I needed to get some hygiene items as well, so I got some dandruff shampoo and some washcloths.
Okay. Did you get the books yet?
No. To that effect, Dad, were you ever able to follow up with the people at the mailroom and find out what's going on?
Yeah, we found out that the address that was given us is the wrong address, and so now we have the correct address, and so now we're trying to chase down where the order is so that we can get those books returned and order new books for you.
Really? Damn, what the hell? It was in the inmate handbook. I guess I need to update this stupid inmate handbook. So what, do you have to send the books to this actual address here at the jail?
Yep.
Isn't that where they were sending them
And
before?
they had already returned the Cotta book.
So they already returned the comic book, and he's looking for these books. What were you saying, Shan?
They sent him stuff before. So all of a sudden, this one got sent to some other address, which didn't make sense to me because he's gotten crap before. So, and then he talks about how, oh, we should update the inmate handbook. And I'm like, well, maybe you could, something for you to do in your spare time.
Exactly.
But I don't get why they changed the address, because everything when it comes through from just, that you get from the jail, it shows that they've been mailing him stuff at the, on Simpson Road in Osceola County.
Anita Blackstone said, do you think that the state will have Jen testify with immunity? Her immunity is only about her lying to the police before that second interview. So they can't bring that up in trial. They can't come out and say, but you lied to us before. It's going to be based on everything that she has been told and offered. The immunity is only, the detective made it clear, we want you to come back in. The immunity is, we're not going to lock you up for lying to us before. Because when it hit the news, I'd say like a week after Madeline was found, and the police were saying, what she told us, the evidence does not support that at all. So, testifying, she will definitely be testifying. No way, no how will she not testify. But there will be no immunity. None.
Nope.
I guess whoever at the other part of the Osceola.
No. I remember we double ordered the books. That was the last book I returned.
Oh, okay.
Because I took it to Staples, and then it's, oh no, this isn't us.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Never mind.
Okay, so I guess
Just read that.
once you get the book sent to this address, they should get through then.
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess it's a good thing we figured that out, I guess. I don't know why they haven't updated this stupid handbook.
Me either.
That's pretty silly. They're handing everybody this thing and it's got the wrong information.
So I found a file folder that had your operative report from Irvine when they did your kidney, so we're sending that to your attorneys.
Okay.
Sarasota Hospital, I still don't have anything on, but apparently since there was a lawsuit and it was finished, we can go through or Rebecca or somebody can go through the Sarasota County Clerk's office to get that complete transcript of that.
Okay.
So they need to jump on that and do that. But I've got this operative report here that you were going to, you were looking at the Navy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send that. And I found your original high school diploma.
Oh, cool.
And your original birth certificate. So we now have 3 here at the house for you.
Oh, well, it's good to have.
Dear Lord, is she okay? I found your original high school diploma, your original birth certificate. So it's all here for you when you get here. Is she okay? okay? I mean, I'm asking a serious question. Is his mom okay?
I don't know. She's very strange to me. Very strange.
I mean, that's just insane. Well, I mean, you've had those things all these years, and look where you're at.
Yeah. See, they seem like they're super organized, right? So they didn't have like a file for all of their little baby Stephan's stuff like that.
My question is, why do they have it and not a grown man?
Well, that's because he's baby Stephan to Deborah.
I mean, my children, they're 29, 30, 31. They have their birth certificate. They have their high school diploma. I've got pictures of them holding them.
Mhm.
Why in the world would I have them?
Yeah.
We're way past me having to have anything to do with it. When I
Yeah.
heard it, I'm like, what is she doing with this stuff anyway?
Yeah, well, my mom has found the stuff like that. And, because she's got a file, she'll go, you need to take these with you. They are yours. So most parents, they go, you're an adult, take it with you.
Yeah, for real. We're trying to clean up the house. Her reality is not. Okay, Bridget, mom of two, said apologies if this was asked already. It's okay, girlfriend. First time getting to look at chat. So was the jail moved in the last few years? Why would the address be different than what's in the little handbook? Sounds like his parents just never sent his shit, and they're just his dad is just kind of giving him a trail of breadcrumbs. What do you think, True Crime Beat?
Yeah, actually re-listening to this again when I was thinking about what I was saying, this was May and June. So this may have been the first time they sent him books. So, because they've sent him stuff since. So maybe this was the first time, because I have to remember this is way back, last year. So, but what would the address be? I mean, that jail has been there forever. So, I mean, it would be the same jail. I mean, that jail's been there since I was a kid.
I don't really know how it works there. My friend Gina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she does a lot. She's a truck driver.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She does a ton of mail runs. Now, if it's for the jail, and it's different between a jail and a prison, they don't just show up to the jail with a bunch of letters and dump them off. They have different drop boxes, usually at the post office, sometimes offsite, because they have to go through everything to make sure there's no contraband or anything in there. Like nobody's trying to put a ciggy in there, or some coffee beans, or a little piece of candy, or nobody's putting like a manila envelope with a phone in there. So no, they don't just show up and they have a big old, bag like Santa Claus and say, oh, here's your mail. Your mail's in. They have their business mail that comes in. But for the inmates, it always goes somewhere else. So
Yeah.
they could have checked lock boxes.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. It could have been a different new place that they have their drop point for all their Amazons and all that stuff.
You can get Amazon in jail?
Well, that's what he's been getting. He's been getting them from Amazon.
Shit.
I just made the deposit for you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I got some more root beer barrels in that order, some Starlight Mints, and I also ordered some butterscotch discs just to change it up a little bit too.
Oh, I love butterscotch.
Yeah, I figured the old man candies are probably the ones that don't sell out the fastest.
Old man candies?
Yeah, the root beer barrels, butterscotch, the mint,
What sells out the fastest?
What's that?
What sells out the fastest?
Jolly Ranchers, sour fruit balls,
okay.
things like that.
Gotcha.
Of course, I order for the sour fruit balls just in case they're actually back in stock. I'd like to try them out at some point.
Well, you know what Jolly Ranchers are like, so
Oh yes, they're delicious, which is, why I'm really bummed that I can pretty much never freaking get them.
They have lemon drops?
Yeah, they got like lemon heads, lemon drops,
Oh, okay.
but they're more expensive.
You must be pursing your lips when you get those.
Well, I haven't gotten any because they're over $2 for a pack of them.
Oh, okay.
And
talking about one of those little box packs or a bag?
I'm not sure. I guess I could order them to find out, but I'd rather get stuff that I know I'm getting better bang for the buck. So anyway.
I can't believe it took you going to jail to learn how to budget.
Yeah, I know, right?
Right.
Silver linings.
Yeah. If there is one.
Yeah, it took me going to jail to have some clarity on a lot of shit.
Yeah.
About what's really most important in life, about how cavalier and careless I've been, and with all the people and things and whatnot that I love and enjoy. And
Can I ask you a personal question, Stephan?
Sure.
Okay, before we get to the personal question, and hello, Elizabeth Lander. Great to see you. So he learned how to budget. Super. 38 years old. Wow. That is awesome. Wow. I'm looking at this, not that I doubted anyone, but it said, yes, Amazon can deliver to prisons, but it's recommended to contact the specific facility beforehand to confirm their policies and any special requirements. Here's a more detailed explanation. Amazon is an approved shipper to prisons, meaning they can deliver packages to inmates. It's crucial to contact the correctional facility before sending anything to confirm their policies regarding deliveries, allowed items, and any specific procedures. When shipping to a prison, the label on the package should only contain the destination address, Amazon.com company name, and return address. Prisons may have specific policies regarding what items can be sent in. No shit. Some facilities may only accept deliveries from Amazon Direct or publishers. Well, I tell you what, that Jeff Bezos is he's got his shit figured out, because it was much cheaper for me to send things to my kids when they were overseas, but they're in the military, through Amazon as opposed to the U.S. Postal Service. What a racket. Wow.
And I'm wondering if you could still, because I know when I used to work at Barnes & Noble years ago, people could come in there and buy books, and we would mail them to a facility. They'd have to have certain things they fill out, but because you can't mail them themselves. They would have to come from a bookstore, I guess, but there would be certain protocols to it. So I'm curious, but of course with Amazon now, well, why the hell would they have to get up and go down there? So,
Yep. Cat OG, me love you long time, said Dear Brooks and Shannon, thank you for always keeping Madeline's story alive. Absolutely. Me and Cat are going to show next week about Madalina Kojakari.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Did anybody ever abuse you sexually?
Oh, shit.
I don't know about abuse, but I mean, it was kind of sexualized early on.
By who?
Kids in the neighborhood. I had my first French kiss when I was 6 years old. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. Remember Nick Poland on Fall Stars Court?
Was it him?
No, it was his sister,
Oh.
Samantha.
Uh-huh.
We were all playing hide and seek. I hid in the closet. She found me and planted one on me, and there was her tongue.
Well, she has her mother as a great example.
Well, she was also like a year or two older than us, so who knows what the hell was going on there.
So she was just experimenting. Somebody told her about it. She was trying it.
And then, of course,
There goes Deborah again. Yeah. Nick Poland, his sister, I came out of the closet. He should have come out of the closet a long time ago and he wouldn't be in this situation. Do not come after me saying I'm gay bashing. And that's the reason he only likes oral and anal. Okay? Sorry, that's the reason. People are wired different ways. And she planted one on me and put her tongue, and he's like, well, she learned it from her mother. She learned it from her mother. Well, she had a good example from her mother. No. Nick Poland's sister and the mother did not make him into that.
Nope.
A lot of the kids in the neighborhood used to go around flashing, me included. You know, girls used to flash me and stuff, and I don't know. It was a weird time. The 90s were a weird time.
Yeah, it's pretty promiscuous.
Yeah. I mean, even the next door neighbor Diane used to, show me what she had going on. So.
Why?
Diane?
In California.
The old lady next door?
Her daughter.
Oh.
Her granddaughter.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah. Well, anyway. So.
Well, it's just that, they say that sometimes when you, like children, that you have been an abused child, and it was intimated that perhaps we had abused you in some way.
The wheels are turning. That little hamster in Deborah's head, she goes, for children, for people that basically, she said, are attracted to children means they were abused of a child. And it was put out there that perhaps we had abused you in some way. It's a wonder she didn't pull an old Cindy Anthony and start blaming Chris Stearns, saying, did you do something to him? Because we know it's not Deborah's fault. She's jerking poodles off to have more. Go ahead, Kimby.
Yeah, when she said, "Oh, it was the boy." It was initially when he said, "You remember kid down the street?" Oh, him? He's like, "No, his sister." But yeah, nobody flashed him. Nobody. Come on. He's trying to make himself sound good.
In the moo-moo that probably didn't have her snaps all the way out and might have had a nip sticking out. She's not flashing him.
Hell no.
Goodness.
Disgusting.
I've got some neighbors that, they're getting up there in age. The wind blows. I don't want to see all that.
Never.
Doesn't make me a sexual deviant.
Ugh.
Clutching at straws.
For sure.
No, you guys never did. And strictly speaking, I'm not actually into younger people like that. As you know, I don't even like most kids, so it's just hard to feel a generalized attraction towards any of them.
Right. Was it just her, or was it other people as well?
I can't get into specific details, but no, it was not a thing with anybody. It was.
Yep.
All right, got it.
But I don't want to get too much into details or.
Yeah, I know.
Confirm or deny anything officially, anything that could possibly be used against me. I haven't seen the inside of a courtroom yet, so it'd be kind of stupid to be making anything that could be construed as an admission of guilt.
Yeah, no, I was just wondering who I needed to go mama bear on if they had hurt you as a child.
No, unfortunately, shit was just weird back in the 90s, and unfortunately I got exposed to all that stuff pretty early on.
Oh, come on.
Shit was weird back in the 90s. Listen, they're really scraping the barrel to try to find a defense for him. Look at Gam to 3. Don't look, Ethel. Don't look.
She's like, I'm going to find out who I need to go mama bear on. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I survived the 90s, and that was without cable television. Well, We finally got it. My dad was a huge stickler about it. No cell phones, no internet, and yeah, nobody was flashing me any hairy nips or, no balls hanging out. I mean, kids do what kids do, but she wants to get all mama bear. It's
Yeah.
way too late for that.
We didn't do any of that stuff. I mean, we played on the street and got yelled at until we came home after dark. But no, that wasn't what you're thinking of when you're a kid. Come on.
Has he not gone back to the 80s when we were going around the grocery store and our parents were smoking in the grocery store? And I swear to God, if you got a carton of eggs and you showed up to the counter and one was cracked, to be like, oh my God, oh no, take them back. I told you to check them. That type of stuff. Yeah, no. Or you see a milk carton with a child's face on it. It's like, that's the reason you have to stick around us and not open that door. You're going to be on those cartons. We had bigger problems in the 80s and 90s than some old horny girl sticking her tongue down the throat.
Yep.
I think this woman has had a mental breakdown, is what I think. Between her home, her marriage, her family, because we have to admit, Stephan's brother is a very successful person.
Yeah, he's smart. He's staying far, far away from all this. Smart man.
And she's trying to make peace of where she went wrong, and she's trying to find something. On one hand, I would like to find some sympathy for her. On the other hand, I just can't.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but none of it was your guys' fault.
Well, that makes you feel better.
I would hope you'd feel better. You have nothing to feel bad about in that regard. I mean, you might have been a little more heavy on the discipline than I would have cared for, but, yeah.
Well, look what I had for an example of when I was growing up.
Yeah.
He was too heavily disciplined?
No, he wasn't.
He
wasn't
said
disciplined enough.
A little too heavy on the discipline. Oh my gosh. Sarah said, does his brother have same father and mother? Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a military dude. He wants nothing to do with this. He hates his brother. Even before this, they caught him one time, and he just said, I've told my parents about him for years, and he's just getting back to his family and wants nothing to do with it. So if his mom wants to continue to jerk off poodles and send money to Stephan, he's fine. He's got his family. He doesn't need this bullshit. I feel bad for the brother. I do.
I do too. Because he doesn't want anything to do with this crap, and he wasn't disciplined enough. Because if he was disciplined better, he would not have any of these issues and have abused Maddie. He wouldn't have allegedly, to say that, killed her. All this stuff. He would have been a much more responsible adult. All that. Yeah, definitely. She did not.
Giving him money and money and money and money. And she's like, oh, well, I didn't know it'd take you going to jail to learn how to budget. I'm like, what?
They're budgeting their money, though. He's taking their money and budgeting it. And he's not really even budgeting it because every time that he calls them, he goes, oh, I only have $5-10. Can you send me some more money tomorrow?
Goodness.
And I didn't treat you as bad as my mother treated me, so.
Yeah.
And you probably would have been a better father.
But, anyway, there's no point in getting into that.
No.
A while back, I would have joked around and said, hey, but I turned out fine, but I can't really say that right now.
Okay.
You turned out fine?
No, can't say that.
But, I'm praying every day and still holding out hope and praying to Jesus and asking for his help and his mercy and asking him to help deliver me from this if it's possible. And
Oh, I hate when they jump to Jesus after they've done horrific things.
Yeah.
I'm praying, I'm asking for Jesus's mercy. You already have his mercy, dude. You're getting root beer barrels, a buttload of coffee, and you got books coming into your jail cell. You're not Daniel in the lion's den.
Mm.
The mercy you want is from when you pass away. And for those that are not believers in here, you can plug your ears. That's not how God's mercy goes.
Mm-mm.
The best thing he can do is get this all done and over with. We know at least some of the things he did to Madeline Soto. Good morning, Rebecca Mikalo.
Good morning.
But God's mercy is for it's not for on earth. We got to make our own way.
He needs to be held accountable, and yeah, so that's all it's not gonna change what he's done. And that's why when they say, well, he should read the Bible, I'm like, oh, I agree with that, but it's not gonna change, what he's done. And it gets me because these people, these inmates, these, criminals, they want to sit there and go, but I found Jesus. And I'm like, I really hope that they do, but they just want to use it for their own advantages. And that's where the problem was. It's like, okay, if you truly found God, and there's plenty of churches that go into these jails and prisons, and I hope he does that, but he has to pay for this horrible things that he did to Madeline.
Well, only the truth set him free, and God has redemption through faith and belief. But redemption is the key part, and that is the concept of salvation and admitting what you've done and taking your licks on this planet, whether it means death, a lifetime of imprisonment. He will get death in the state of Florida for what he did to Madeline. He certainly will. If he doesn't get it in this trial, he'll get it in the next one. So whatever he's reading in that Bible, he's not getting the scripture yet.
No.
But I don't want YouTube. Well, I really don't care if YouTube shuts me down for that. I really don't. Because that's the written word.
That's true.
That's the written word. It's like, Christopher Greger, when he got up in front of Bree and Rebecca and talked about how he found God. I'm like, what do you mean you found God? God's everywhere. Do you see grass on the ground? Do you have air in your lungs? Are there clouds in the sky? It's not too hard to find God. You idiot.
God didn't go anywhere, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing would happen to they all want to go to their parole and their sentencing, go, but I've been reading the Bible and I'm a better person. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Continue to give me the strength to endure it and get through it, and to continue watching out for her, and take care of her.
There's no problem with. She's in the best place she can be, if not here.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
These things go so fast.
I know.
Well, I'm not going to be able to call you again tonight just because it's already really late, and
I think Deborah needs to get her ass to the church or crack her Bible. Because to say that Madeline Soto is in the best place she can be is probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Why can't she be in school? Why can't she be getting ready for cheerleading or pomerettes or dance class or art or anything they have going on? But she's in the best place she can be. Why? Because she can't testify against your baby boy? Why, Deborah?
Yeah, she's in the best place because she was being brutally abused by your son. And she got away from it. Why couldn't she get away from it and be alive?
She didn't even try to get away with it. She was complacent. She knew no different. It'd been going on since she was 8 years old. And for that, if Chris Stearns, I'm telling you so right now, I can't believe he doesn't shake a knot in Deborah and be like, what are you talking about?
You notice how quiet he gets, though, when Deborah goes off. He gets super kind of quiet.
And I guarantee heaven is better than here, but it's not Stephan Stearns' job to send Madeline there. No way, no how.
We ain't the judge and jury that's God.
By the time the cool down period is over, it's going to be like 10 minutes until the phone system shuts off.
Okay, darling. Well, try again.
I will call you back tomorrow evening, though, and I'll try to get an earlier start at it, okay?
Okay, love you.
I love you too, Mama Bear. I love you, Dad.
Love you too.
Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Barf.
Anyone that is murdered or any kind of insane, I'll just say murdered. I'm going to start with that. I'm not getting through the other parts of how people die. You don't get to say it was their time. You see, natural causes, cancer, flu, pneumonia, all of these things that make us sick. And we will all pass away someday. Sorry, we will. It's going to happen. All right? But when someone puts their hands around your throat after sexually abusing you for 5 years and taking pictures of the abuse, is not their time to go.
110%.
That is crazy. I'm just sickened.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns.
an inmate at Osceola. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey.
Hi, sweetie. Hey.
That phone app is not working right. So the same number you just called your mother, everything's the same except my last four is 6588.
Okay.
All right. So don't use the other number because it flashes up on the screen and it says I missed the call. I never got a chance to answer it.
So don't use the jackpot number anymore?
The jackpot number. Okay. Don't use the jackpot number.
All right.
Hey.
6588.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you saying, Mom?
I said we're on puppy watch. She's in there nesting in the whooping box.
Oh, so she's about to have him?
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Well, anytime.
We're ready. We're ready.
I'm jealous.
I wish you were here.
Yeah, me too. I love puppy time.
I know, baby. I know.
So we ordered some books for you. So yeah, so we shipped them to the new address, and obviously we're chasing the order that's sitting over there in Seminole. But what did we get? About 6 books?
4 or 5. We got 2 Michael Crichtons. I got a Sudoku and a card.
Can you repeat that? You were breaking up a little bit.
Before.
Okay, did you hear what he just said? Okay, he was talking. We got 2 Michael Crichton books. We got a card book. We got a Sudoku, and we got what?
Anything else?
Okay, 2 Michael Crichtons.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a Sudoku.
Yeah.
Got a card game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's $4.
Yeah.
Okay, $4. $70 for $4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so 4 books.
Okay, cool. Very nice. Which Michael Crichton books did you get me? Do you remember?
We got, was it Sapphire?
No.
No. What's the one that started with S?
Was it Sphere?
Sphere, yeah, thank you. And then,
I think did we get Volcano?
no, I don't know what you got. Anyway, we got 2 Michael Crichton books, the card books, the Sudoku.
Okay, very
And I think it's supposed to arrive Tuesday.
Okay, very cool. I'll have to keep an eye out for those then.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm not the Eaters of the Dead.
Eaters of the Dead.
Eaters of the Dead. Oh, very cool.
Oh, very cool. What is he, 12? Oh, very cool. Oh, very cool. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And I'm going to be posting this. It's not actually from me, but I will post it. We have been trying to FOIA the commissary of Christopher Gregor and the phone calls. As you know, he is in jail for the murder of his son, Corey Mikolo. And so if we're actually able to get him, because the state of New Jersey is a little different than Florida, obviously we will run those by Bree and Rebecca first, and with permission, we will, because I know a lot of you have been wanting to see him, we will listen to him, then we will break him down.
Oh, I would love to know what his sorry ass is up to.
Oh, yeah, he's probably wearing maxi pads by now. So he wants all these Michael Crichton books. Hey, no harm, no foul. And Michael Crichton's a great writer. But he expects all these things.
Yeah, he talks to his parents like he just expects that they're going to send him stuff. He gives them a list, and then he goes, can you put some more money in my commissary? You know, it's like, I'm going to have to get the rundown of how much money they've given him last year. That's going to be my next request. Because I'm curious how much money they've given him.
Me too.
Cool. Very cool, Art.
Yeah.
That was a movie.
What's that?
That was a movie. We got 3 Michael Crichton. We got Eaters of the Dead, Fear, and what is it? Dragon Teeth.
Which one?
Dragon Teeth.
Dragon Teeth. Oh, okay. I don't think I've read that one yet. What's that about?
And then there's Timeline. We also got Michael Crichton Timeline.
Oh, awesome. Oh, you got some good ones.
And 1,000 Sudokus.
Yeah.
Easy to hard.
I think the only other one, Michael Crichton one that I had for my list was Jurassic Park as well. So.
Oh, God.
Yeah, scroll up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got arriving Tuesday. Eaters of the Dead is arriving on the 24th, which is like a week later. And then Card Games for Travelers.
Yes.
Okay. And then arriving Tuesday, again, more arriving Tuesday Timeline and Sudoku. So there's like 5 books.
Oh, very nice. Okay, cool. Ooh, that's exciting. Did the social workers ever get a chance to send you
The fuck is this? The Scholastic Book Fair? Did he get a Lamborghini poster too? This is insane.
You'd probably love it.
Holy shit.
It's a sickness. It really is. And then the mom is so excited. Oh, we got you this one. Yeah. Ugh.
Diva said, what's he going to do when his parents pass away? Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that's the reason he wants the trust fund. And they're trying to sell his car. And they're trying to find that Rolex that he stole from his grandpa. And so they want to cash all that money in. And they have to find someone to trust to get it to him. They can't just throw down a bunch of hundies to the jail because it will cause a fucking gang war.
Yeah, and I wonder if mom passes away before dad, if dad's not going to be supplying him as well.
He won't. He won't. He might do a little bit, but not like this. No, it's insane.
And I can give you more if you want, but I figure you've got a good list to go off of for now.
Yeah, we got enough to work with.
Yeah. Anyway, so you're on puppy watch, and what did you eat for dinner tonight?
We had some so-so baby back ribs I got at Sam's. They weren't that good. Didn't like them.
Oh, I see. Well,
Yeah.
Give me a second. What'd you guys have for dinner? Oh, we got some baby back ribs from Sam's, but they weren't that good. He goes, oh, I see. Why? Why?
They should have said, well, what did you have for dinner, Stephan?
Okay, because you had cold beans and white bread. Yeah, we just got some baby back ribs from Sam's. They weren't that good. He's like, oh,
They were crappy, but hey.
Yeah, and all you have is nothing but carbs. And you probably get 2 Lasix a day, so you can shit, but you're too scared to leave your cell to even go shower.
Yeah, he's not showering or changing his clothes often. It's disgusting.
Uh-huh. Now I want some baby back ribs. Okay, Shannon doesn't eat baby back ribs. Anyone know a good recipe for baby back ribs? Rebecca said he talks like he's in boarding school, not prison. Exactly. Now, Rebecca, well, I'll talk to you about that after the show. I don't want to cross cases because we really want to get those phone calls between Christopher Gregor and his parents.
Yes.
I like a dry rub on my baby back ribs, but I don't get mine from Sam's.
Well, they make a lot of vegan versions of things now, so I'll have to look into that.
Vegan ribs? Are you serious?
Yeah, I think so. I'll have to look into that.
So you're basically going to get like a skewer with like a bunch of black beans hot glued to it. You're going to call it?
No, I think it's made of like tempeh or tofu.
I love you, girl.
And then I had a baked potato, and then I made some keto brownies. I didn't like those either.
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
There's a trilogy for Howling.
I can't hear her too well.
There's a Howling trilogy book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Yeah, go for that. I didn't know if they had any more Howling books or not. I knew of the first one. I didn't know if they had written any more. So if they got a trilogy, yeah, go for the trilogy.
yeah. You can tell it's a trilogy. It's $26 for the book.
Oh, is it like one big book?
Yeah, one big book has 3 stories in it.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Yeah, that's good. And that also won't take up as much space.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I was hoping they wrote more than one. Yeah, that's exciting. That was nightmares.
My Pet Werewolf.
Can I say something that's probably not going to make a lot of sense to a lot of people? And, you guys can skewer me, you can fillet me and fry me. I just don't feel that his deviancy and what he did to Madeline has really anything to do with how his parents treated him. I don't see how in his upbringing any of this was introduced to him to the point that he would think it's okay.
I think that's where Deborah was trying to figure it out. even though we think she's off her rocker, but I
Oh,
think
she's
she was
off her rocker.
well,
Oh,
she is, but
she is off her rocker.
they're strange, okay? But they weren't a part of any of this stuff. So yeah, where the hell did he get it from?
Well, he knew this was wrong. I don't care who you are. You know, listen, people don't hide when they know it's wrong. They just don't do it. Let's look at the dude that kidnapped Sophia Franklin out of Wisconsin. Now, in her mind, she's 16, almost 17. She's having his baby, and they can be on the run until she turns 18. It doesn't work that way. I just really wish his mom would just not. She's asking a lot of questions to try to soothe her own soul, and I'm not liking it.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, I see it.
What's that?
Stephen King, Cycle of the Werewolf.
Oh, yeah. If they got good werewolf, I mean, if you can find highly rated werewolf books, that's always.
Well, they've got 4.5 stars.
That's not bad, then. And Stephen King is, he's the king.
Yeah.
Neither Stephen King nor Jesus care about your ass right now, Stephan. Kat said, my opinion is that their refusal to set boundaries and allowing him to get away with everything was pivotal in his behavior. I can agree. But if he's saying he was raised the same way of his brother and his brother is totally different, his brother has a successful career, family, wants nothing to do with this mess, what's the difference?
Well, you know what he's going to blame it on? The accident. But I don't think it's that either. But that's what they're gonna use it.
Oh, I think he's just a damn dirty perv.
He's just disgusting.
And I think Jen Soto was the catalyst. She had no problem turning a blind eye. And he is so messed up somewhere that when Madeline was showing him attention, and listen, an 8-year-old showing you attention is not flirting. It's not sexual. It is not. It's just they're warming up to you. Okay.
Yeah, she probably wanted to just be his friend, and it was just nothing besides just let's hang out, and because he was like a big kid to her. But look at what he's into. So I mean,
let's look at how Madeline acted when she would go to see her father and stepmother. There was no issue sitting one-on-one. This is what will not get out of my mind, is when she would become panicked if they were all in the bed together. If she fell asleep and she realized her stepmom was in the bed and her dad was in the bed, she would panic and leave to another room. That has stuck with me.
Yeah, that's very strange.
That's the type of protection kids like. I fell asleep, I'm in bed, or they'll just get up and go to their own bed. But something about that, according to Tyler, really panicked her. And then I go back to this.
Now, June 16th of last year at 9:30 p.m. and 27 seconds, you texted Stephan this: Maddie's no longer sleeping with me. I can't risk it. What does that mean?
I have no idea. How would you not know?
Who would know if she doesn't know?
She would know. She would. Anyone in here ever had a child fall asleep in bed with you? And you're like, and their arms and their legs and everything flop all over. And they're heavy little boogers. And you're like, roll over. And like, you want to pick them up and get them to their bed, so you don't wake them up, so you can go to bed and you can relax. Nobody says it's risky. Not one person.
Nope.
Even if you send a physical picture or something, they might physically see.
We don't. No, nobody takes a physical picture anymore. We all do it on cameras. It goes straight to our computer.
Yeah, you can print it out, maybe, but I don't know. Well, I'll have to ask the mental health people and see how that system works.
Okay, do that. Are they giving you anything for anxiety and sleep?
No. Like I said before, when I got the murder charge, I asked them for something for anxiety, and they gave me an antidepressant that also doubles for anxiety, and that gave me even worse symptoms. So.
That gives you worse symptoms?
Yeah, you already went through that.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I started feeling extremely panicky and like an elephant was sitting on my chest and the sky was crushing down on me.
Okay, baby. Well, you can't do that.
Nope, so I decided I'd just take my chances with the depression and anxiety.
Okay.
And it's been mostly okay. Although lately I guess for a little while now, I've been having some mild hallucinations.
Yeah?
Like I'll see random flashes of light while I'm reading my books, like on my hands, like as I'm moving through the words, like each word will jitter out like a Morse code flash of light on my hand, and then I'm catching little flickers of movement out of the corners of my eye.
Well, you know, that could be a visitation from. You don't know.
Well, I don't know. I keep catching flickers of movement out of the corner of my eye, like just out of the periphery of my vision, like I'm seeing a bug move or something, and then I look over and I'm there.
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
So I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe the isolation is starting to mess with me, or maybe just all the trauma and everything is just taking its toll.
I would imagine it has. It's taking its toll on everyone.
Yeah.
You just need to make friends with the ants in your cell.
No. And she passed away. You know, I suffered a catastrophic mental breakdown at that point. I don't know.
Okay, I'm assuming right now he's talking about Jen, correct?
No, I think he was talking about Maddie.
Okay, let's go back. I've had to listen to this several times.
Yeah, because they redacted it. I believe it's Maddie, but I am curious what the chat thinks too.
Me too.
Depressant that also doubles for.
He should be beyond anxious because his head's on the chopping block because he is being tried in the state of Florida, which means he'll get the needle. He should be beyond anxious. So he's asked, are they giving anything for anxiety, anything like that? And he goes, something for anxiety, and they give me an antidepressant that also doubles for. Okay. How are you enjoying that, True Crime Beat? Rexy, how are you enjoying that? Your taxpayers' dollars are paying for his antidepressants. His mother swears he suffers from PTSD. From what? Nobody put a pew-pew in his face. Is this from the French kiss from when he was 6? Or seeing the old lady next door when her moo-moo came open?
I think he's a hypochondriac. Yeah, Lisa's saying hallucinations not fit to stand trial. Well, they won't let that happen.
You never know. We've seen some crazy things, but they are leading him on knowing this is recorded.
Mm-hmm.
But they're asking all the wrong questions. And they're getting the right answers for me. They're doing great, in my opinion. But it's not going to get him anywhere.
For anxiety, and that gave me even worse symptoms. So.
That gives you worse symptoms?
Yeah, you already went through that.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I started feeling extremely panicky and like an elephant was sitting on my chest and the sky was crushing down on me.
Okay, baby. Well, you can't do that.
No, so I decided I'd just take my chances with the depression and anxiety.
Okay.
And it's been mostly okay. Although lately I guess for a little while now, I've been having some mild hallucinations.
Yeah.
Like I'll see random flashes of light while I'm reading my books, like on my hands, like as I'm moving through the words, like each word will jitter out like a Morse code.
I'm going to go back to this. I'm not in his head. I don't know what he's going through. Nobody asked what Maddie was going through because I can just only imagine how that conversation would go. And if I was his mom, because I'm a real bitch like that to my kids, yeah, go ahead, run with it. I really am. I would flat out say, can you just imagine how that girl felt? Can you imagine how that little girl felt? She doesn't know anything about intimacy or relationships. She's at an age where you look up to adults and, you teach them, you guide them, you nourish them, you take pride in their achievements. That's what you do. But all of this, Morse code, hallucinations, he's going to try to say that from his little wreck back when he was like 8 years old, it has changed his cognitive ability.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
You picked the wrong state, buddy, to commit a crime. Okay? You picked the wrong state.
Flash of light on my hand, and then I'm catching little flickers of movement out of the corners of my eye.
Well, that could be a visitation from, you don't know.
Well, I don't know. I keep catching flickers of movement out of the corner of my eye, like just.
See, I think he's talking about Maddie.
Yeah, because his mom said, could that be a visitation? Does she think that Maddie is coming to see him?
Hell no.
No, I mean, I'm asking about Deborah.
Yeah.
Is she thinking that these flickers in his eyes and shit with all the medicine he's taking, everything, and he's having a hard time reading? Hey, that could be pure guilt, dude.
Yep.
Could that
still?
I'm like, really? Are we're going down that road now? That's insane.
Just out of the periphery of my vision, like I'm seeing a bug move or something, and then I look over and there.
Okay.
So I don't know what the deal is with that. Maybe the isolation is starting to mess with me, or maybe just all the trauma and everything is just taking it.
What the fuck? Maybe it's isolation. Maybe it's all the trauma and everything. What trauma? Allegedly, he murdered Madeline Soto. Take the wheel, true crime beat, because I'm about to say something I don't want to say.
He has no trauma. And if anybody has trauma, it's his brother who has been in the military. So, yeah, like I said, the only thing that's always going to come back to is that crappy accident when he got run over as a child. And that's bull crap. We all know it. And there's no trauma. There's no trauma there. I mean, from where? I think he's making up stuff. He thinks he's probably read it somewhere on the internet. Yeah, Maddie had trauma. That's right, Angie. Maddie had trauma.
Maddie had trauma.
100%.
I would imagine it has. It's taking its toll on everyone.
Yeah. And she passed away. I suffered a catastrophic mental breakdown at that point. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not.
and I was literally out of my mind when I was first booked into jail. I was hallucinating. I was hearing things.
I hate when a murdered person is called passed away. I hate it. Remember what Billy Joe Howell said, True Crime Beat, when she said, Quentin has passed.
Mm-mm.
Quentin was murdered.
She had a violent death. She was murdered.
She had a violent childhood.
She wasn't sick. I mean, you know, as far as like she didn't have like cancer, or she was abused and murdered. So, yeah. He is just sick, and the way his parents talk to him, especially Deborah, goes to show where this comes from. They seem to think he can do them no wrong. I mean, I always thought Chris was a little bit more on the other side, which I think he is, but he's still. Why are they being so supportive over him? Why?
I think in that household, it comes straight down to Deborah. I think Deborah's losing her mind, and whatever Chris needs to do to just appease her, he will.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a parent, as you know, but I can't see, and I've asked a lot of friends, I said, if your child sexually abused, you know, somebody, and I said, and or murdered somebody, I said, would you be this supportive to somebody, all these kind of things? And they said, I would still love them, but no. You know, it wouldn't be to this extent at all.
I couldn't make excuses. I couldn't. And I wouldn't make excuses for myself either. And if anybody came after me and said, your child did this because you did this when they were 8, 9, 10 years, 11, whatever years old, I'll tell you what, we'd have a big fucking problem there.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, Jen Soto let him in the house. Jen Soto orchestrated all of this. Jen Soto sent her daughter to room number 4. I don't care if every day of Stephan's life he got a whole new Lego set or a whole new G.I. Joe set. I don't care. I don't care. At some point, the brain forms and understands we don't do that. Again, why did none of her other boyfriends not have the Woody Allen syndrome? Why did Tyler? She was after Tyler for a long time. Anyone in here ever spoil your kids, let them get away with something that you know they shouldn't do? Anyone. You just give them a break. It's not boot camp. You're rearing children.
And I have questions about what is normal for her family too, Jen's family, because I find it hard to believe they didn't know something was going on in that townhouse, as well as those roommates. I don't know if they knew to the extent, but something it bothers me. They don't, you know, Yolanda, Mama there. It's like, I think that they knew more than they are saying, and the fact that they keep in hiding. And I think it was one aunt from the other side that came to the memorial service for Maddie. Well, that service, and I thought, they're just not here for her ever, even when she's gone. They don't care. It's just sick.
They weren't even at her funeral service.
Nope.
Tyler and his wife showed up, and they took her ashes back with them. When I thought about what Yolanda said on TikTok, and she said he gave her the love she wanted, and I'm like, whoa, we can't say that now. No. Go back and think about that, True Crime Beat. Yolanda said, but he gave her the love she wanted.
Why would she say that? This is her granddaughter. And she's okay with that? So when Jen wants to throw that out saying, I was taught not to trust a man, you know, from my mother. Well, I don't think that's what you were taught. I think there's something else there.
Not at all. Not at all. Murder is not passing away. Murder is an act that you want done for whatever reason or another. And we have a lot of forensics, and the crime scene is the body. I know a lot of people get upset about other cases or like, why can't they solve it? Why can't they solve it? It's really hard to do without the body. Really hard to do. They have Madeline's body. They know what happened to her. They have a Encyclopedia Britannica full of pictures of her, not holding a little daisy or a sunflower, standing outside. No, these are pictures that are sexually compromised. So I don't really give a rat's ass how he was brought up, how he was raised, what was given to him, because his brother was in the exact same environment. This is all on him and Jen Soto. She's the catalyst.
I would imagine it has taken its toll on everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, when she passed away, I suffered a catastrophic mental breakdown at that point. I don't know if you know that.
No, I did not.
And I was literally out of my mind when I was first booked into jail. I was hallucinating. I was hearing things and seeing things very badly. And it took me about a week to come out of that.
I hope you're sharing all that with your attorneys.
I did, and the mental health people knew about it as well because, they're the ones that interview you when you come in and like, are you seeing anything? Are you hearing anything? I was like, yes,
And here it is. This is what I've been looking for. Kat said, interesting how he was enabled by Jen and his mother. Seems like the connection to his childhood is that he needed women who enabled him to do whatever he wanted to do.
Bingo. Good Kat.
I'm going to give her the comment of the day. My goodness, like she needs it. Here we go. Here we go. Kat OG right here. True.
Yep. And what was I going to say? Oh, he's acting like he was like, I was thinking when he's saying that again. See, I like listening to, even though I hate listening to his voice, listening to it multiple times, you kind of think of other things. He was sitting there looking at his damn phone when they were trying to interrogate him, trying to fix his new phone. And then he's like, oh, but when I got arrested, I went through this traumatic experience. Yet you fell asleep in the interrogation room, was trying to set up your new phone and all that. Yeah. Bull crap.
And the pictures they're describing, I'm telling you, it's going to take more than one person with that angle not to put a sick thing in your head. It doesn't work that way, okay? It doesn't. And when she said, oh, we share an Amazon wish list, is what she said. Well, the tripod was on there. Did Jen buy it on their Amazon account because she was tired of taking the pictures?
Well, there's 2 tripods, though. There was one in her room and one in room number 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a tripod in my room. Nope.
I have one, but, I take pictures of other things and not nasty.
No, I don't think I've had a tripod since my kids we had like this big like VCR camera. Remember VCR tapes, True Crime Beat?
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay. And so it would wear out my shoulder carrying it around. So I would set it up and that's where, the kids would open presents and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me for any nudes or anything. I tried to impress my husband one day and I had my fat ass up on the counter. I'm trying to take a picture over my shoulder. And I'm like, holy shit. I didn't realize I had a toothpaste stain, coming out of my mouth That might have turned him on. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm just trying to send the butt cheeks. These people are disgusting.
Yes.
What in hell?
Both. I was hearing reverberating noises going through my cell and in my head, and I would look at the doors, and it looked like the doors were breathing. And then it took me about a week to come out of that, and then it took me another 3 weeks or so before I started to regain some lucidity in my mind and some clarity again. And it took me a while to come out of that.
Those are the nasty
I don't
books
think
you
you guys
read.
knew that.
No, did not.
Yeah, so I was not in my right mind after I found her.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I understand why, but
a complete mental and emotional breakdown, and then everything that followed was kind of a result of that.
oh,
Here I am pausing again. He's not getting an insanity defense in Florida.
Mm-mm.
He is not getting that. No. They may have to evaluate and make sure he's okay to stand trial. That's probably already been done. If I go back through the court records, he's already been evaluated.
There's nothing in there for motions either that say anything about his mental well-being.
Nothing wrong with his ass. Orgelio Pupo and Morgan Keene tried the same thing, saying they had a breakdown. But you didn't have the breakdown before, and even if you did, you are culpable. Doesn't matter.
well,
I wish I'd handled that passing a lot better, but I was not capable of rational thoughts or actions at that point. I literally was not in my right mind.
okay, baby. Well,
All right, so with his mental breakdown, the only thing he knew to do was to drive around like Weekend at Bernie's with the dog collar, the dog leash, holding up Maddie's body. Because we've gone through the timeline of the morning. When he ran back in, it was to get something to tie her up. So in his emotional breakdown, all he knew to do is get rid of her body and do an accidental factory reset and not call 911 to get help.
He had some rationalization because he drove all the way to that parking garage at the hotel where he thought no one was going to see him. Mm-hmm. So he was rational as far as I'm concerned.
He moved her body. He threw away her laptop.
Yeah. Put her in the trunk and then drove all the way to St. Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
we know what we think happened, so it doesn't matter.
It's hard to believe we're halfway through June already.
It is, isn't it?
May crept
Well, no,
slowly, and now June is just flying by.
Whoops, you got a minute.
Yeah, this will probably be my last call tonight, but I'll call you back within the next couple of days.
Oh, yeah. Time is not going to fly for you anymore, Stephan, unless you find something to occupy your time. Deborah says, well, we already know what we think happened, but it doesn't matter because they really, in their heart of hearts, want to believe that Jen Soto murdered her daughter and he's taken the rap for it. Obviously, they haven't done any sort of research recently to know that there's a lot of alphabets. There's a lot of letters in the alphabet. Okay. There's a lot of them. It's not 1 + 2. It's not like 1 + 1 = 2. There's a lot of letters in the alphabet. And so when he says, he's trying to say, well, I just found her. She was blue and all that stuff. At this point, we're not talking about murder. He can get death for what he did to her. Let's just say he did not murder her. And the dad knows he's guilty.
Yeah, Rexy said that's what he knows. He knows.
Mhm.
That's why he is more quiet. You'll notice when he's on the phone with just dad is when he talks more. When he's on the phone with mom and dad, dad doesn't say as much.
Absolutely disgusting. Well, you did absolutely great work by getting these phone calls. I really appreciate it. Would you be comfortable with putting out the Christopher Gregor calls if we ever get them?
Oh, I would love to do that. You know me, I'm on Team Corey. I'm on Team Corey and that whole family. I hope he's having a horrible, horrible time.
I hope so. I hope he's getting the Adam Montgomery treatment, because in the
yeah,
pay that much attention with their jails. I mean, we know what happened to Adam Montgomery, and woo,
he deserved it too. Poor baby. Oh.
He went to the shower. His cell was open. All those dudes were taking turns pooping in his toilet. He came back in. They shoved his face in the toilet. He got a belly full of black people poop, and he got the plunger treatment.
So I think Stearns is going to be seeing something happen like that too one day.
Yeah, the first person I called when I heard about it, because they had to move him from New Hampshire to Virginia, and the first person I called was Susan, because that case, the Harm Montgomery case, gets her goat every time. And all she kept saying was, she wasn't even shocked. She just kept saying, in her sweet little voice, her little sweet little Missouri accent voice, she kept going, good. So they didn't kill him? I'm like, no, he just got a belly full of shit and the plunger up the ass. That's pretty much it.
Hey, somebody finally decided to give him what he was been owed all this time.
Yeah.
He thinks he's hot shit. They think he's hot shit, but he was hot shit after that.
I'll tell you what, he was. They had him in infirmary for a little bit. He had to wear that pad in the back of his prison underwear. Yeah, nasty asses.
Ugh.
All right, guys, I didn't mean to keep you this long. It has been a great show. And I'll tell you what amazing people. Seriously, what amazing people.
I love this community.
You better believe it. Look at this. Britt even said turd drop. Exactly. Turd drop. She said it's no longer teardrop. It's turd drop.
I like that. Good, Britt. Very good.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Well, I am going to run off here, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to be working in the yard. What are you doing this weekend, True Crime Beat?
Well, I'm running in the morning. Probably you might be sleeping when I'm running. I don't know. Although you have a very strange schedule. So yeah, I'm going to be running, and then I'm going to go see my parents in Kissimmee, and yeah, that's where I'll be staying when I go when I'm at the trial. Because if I do 2 days in a row, I'll stay with them for a couple of days.
That is amazing. Well, I love you all. I'm always up early in the morning. I don't think, it's kind of hard to get a hold of me in the evening, because that's usually after I've had my bath and I'm asleep. But I got yard work to do this weekend. The phone will be on. Anytime you want to get a hold of me, well, hell, I think all of you have my phone number. If not, somewhere you can get it. It's not a Google phone number. I'm not a pussy like these other people like Dustin and Dolly. You can just call me straight up. You guys have the best Friday you've ever had. We have a lot of stuff going on next weekend. And I just want to say thank you so much to my friend True Crime Beat, to all of you. And thank you so much for being here for Madeline Soto. We're out.